Hi, my name is Michelle Smith, and this is my uh, first video journal for our discussion on social media. My personal philosophy, I think social media is fascinating. I am a user of Facebook. I use Instagram, Snapchat occasionally. I'm not a Twitter user. I've used LinkedIn occasionally, and I am just amazed at the kind of breadth and depth that all of these have the potential to give us across the world. Um, I have a sister who is a missionary in Nigeria, and I love being able to connect with her via a Snapchat or through Facebook, so we can show pictures of kind of what's going on with our families or the people that she's working with. It brings things right there. You don't have to think, I wonder if that's a big house, a small house, how big are the people, what do they wear? All of that is transcended very quickly by a photograph. I think that is just outstanding. Just today, I had the opportunity to use Facebook to locate some information for my daughter who was traveling back to her college location and didn't understand what was going on with the traffic. I was able to go to the Department of Transportation Facebook page and see that there had been a rock slide and that they were diverting traffic. We could quickly communicate. There wasn't any more confusion about what was going on, and she had a much better idea of the time frame that was going to take place. So I really think the amount of information out there that we can access is just outstanding. I think it gives us that opportunity as well to broaden our community. I believe the Bible really talks about us not being individuals and not being islands, but being part of a bigger community. Just as in Galatians 4, where it says in Galatians 4:4, but when the time had fully come, God sent his Son, born of a woman, born under the law, to redeem those under law. And those first few words, but when the time had fully come, and in the fullness of time, I heard a radio preacher talk once about how the Romans were working on a road system that connected Rome with other parts of the world. And this was completed right about the time of Jesus' death. And what a great opportunity for the evangelist to begin to quickly spread the news and have easy roadways, well, easier roadways, to go from city to city and talking about the gospel instead of being so secluded in their areas. So I really kind of pass that on to our internet and think what an opportunity that we have now to reach out and to share the gospel of Jesus Christ. However, we do end up in those kind of things like when I believe it was Thomas Friedman in his article about social media destroyer or creator, when Gonin says he included these things about social media, right? First, we don't know how to deal with rumors. Rumors that confirm people's biases are now believed and spread. Second, we tend to only communicate with people that we agree with. And then third, online discussions quickly descend into angry mobs. And fourth, it became really hard to change our opinions just because of that. We need to find a better way to have discussions within our social media. I think that kind of is a really good segue to the article that we had about the Seek, Sense, and Share framework, where it says, we always know more than we can say, and we will always say more than we can write down. I find it often difficult when I'm utilizing social media to really put into a succinct amount of words what I'm really trying to convey. And one of the things that social media requires us to do is truly find a way to adapt our filter for information so that we are discerning when and with whom to share information. I recently read a book by Brene Brown. It's called Braving the Wilderness. If you get a chance, it's a really good read. And I think she really hits upon something very important when it comes to the use of social media and communication, that we really need to do a better job of just throwing things out there. I really wish we had a better tool where to say, okay, you can use the social media, but only if you get someone's rebuttal to your opinion, and it's not just so much, well, he said this, and then I'm going to hate crime back, or whatever that terminology might be. There has to be a better way for us to really drill down and have deeper discussions with each other. So I think Social media gives us a wonderful opportunity to expand our community, to step into places we just can't afford to go to. It gives us an opportunity to challenge ourselves, to find the right words to say succinctly, to deliver a good message. Um, and I think it gives us an opportunity to be vulnerable in ways that we haven't been before. I mean, all of us opened up kind of what our homes look like and what our offices look like, what we look like after we work out, or whatever those things might be. When we share that part with us, um, I think we begin to bridge the gap. In Romans chapter 12, it says, I'm reading verse 3, do not think of yourselves more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment in accordance with the measure of faith God has given you. And then he goes on in verses 14 to say, bless those who persecute you, bless and do not curse. And I think if, as we as believers step into that world of social media, we have the opportunity to have a really positive influence in sharing the gospel, and utilizing all of the tools that are out there for us. And we can step in to find out what things people are using, and how to be more credible. When we share ourselves, and we are truthful and being willing to be transparent, all of those things build trust in our environment and help us to become more credible beings. And when we have the ability to not just share our side, but to listen to someone else's side, I mean, and we communicate so much through our body language, that when we get to see someone be frustrated or be passionate about what they're saying, or be extremely sad, we really connect with them in ways that we don't always do through just like the written word. I just think it's a really great opportunity with both good and bad things that we need to be prepared to deal with as we embark on utilizing social media. Thank you all so much for just the wisdom that you've already shared in the wonderful journal posts that I've had to listen to. It's been a really great experience. I'm looking forward to learning more.